Cardi money. You don't make Offset money. That lie, that rumor came out 2 years ago. What the are you still talking about it for, bro? What are you?
Oh, buckle up, because today's scandal is hotter than a Kardashian divorce special multiplied by a Zeus Network reunion on crack. Just when we thought 2025 couldn't get any messier, Chrisean Rock has sprinted, barefoot, screaming, and swinging straight back into the spotlight she swore she didn't want. And baby, Cardi B and Blueface just joined forces like two chaotic Avengers ready to expose every dusty lie from 2023 that Chrisean has been recycling like expired leftovers. This isn't just drama, this is scandal stew. And everybody brought a spoon. Because apparently, the rumor that Chrisean slept with Offset, yes, that Offset, Cardi's former husband, Culture's daddy, the man who can't stay away from trouble even when trouble has a restraining order, is back haunting the internet like it pays rent. Blueface revived it, Cardi addressed it, Offset denied it, and now Chrisean's own best friends are popping up like surprise villains in a telenovela, screaming, "No sis, you did it," and the gag? The receipts are timestamped, location locked, and dripping with betrayal. So sit tight, because today, we're diving into a story so messy it makes the Kardashians look like librarians. Let's talk about Chrisean and the night everything exploded. The internet barely had time to breathe before this chaos exploded. Again, because when it comes to Chrisean Rock, scandals don't die, they respond like video game villains with upgraded powers. And this time, the whole mess started with Blueface casually tossing a digital grenade into the timeline. One podcast appearance, one question, 1 second of Blueface being Blueface. And suddenly the entire internet was reliving a rumor we thought was buried under 2 years of new disasters. But no, Blueface dragged the 2023 madness straight into 2025 with the confidence of a man who enjoys setting fires then roasting marshmallows on top of them. He didn't hesitate, didn't whisper, didn't blink. He said Chrisean slept with Offset, Cardi B's Offset, Culture's Offset, the Offset whose marriage drama has kept bloggers fed for 5 fiscal years. Blueface dropped the claim like it was nothing, like he was ordering fries, and the world stopped mid-scroll. People remembered the original accusations. They remembered the date, November 10th. They remembered the location, Cardi and Offset's LA house. They remembered Blueface going off on Twitter back then saying Chrisean used his house as a gateway to slide into Offset's bed. And they remembered Offset denying every syllable as if his life depended on it. The wild part is, back in 2023, nobody believed Blueface. People labeled him bitter, petty, toxic, delusional. They said he was trying to distract the world from his own chaos by dragging Chrisean through the mud. They said he was obsessed with hurting her because she dared to move on. But this time, Blueface came back aiming for the jugular. No jokes, no subtext, no playful clown emojis. He doubled down like he had a sworn duty to expose the truth. He even listed the exact time, 4 in the morning, the exact house, the one Offset shared with Cardi, and the exact reason he kept quiet back then. He said he was trying to protect her. Protect her from what, though? The backlash, the embarrassment, or the fact that being caught sneaking into another woman's husband's home would have changed her entire trajectory. Then he brought up the one detail nobody could ignore. On November 10th, both Chrisean and Offset were in LA for French Montana's birthday event. The timing matched, the location matched. Even his mom, Carlissa, jumped in to say Blue may act wild but lying is not his style. Suddenly, the internet wasn't so sure who to believe anymore. And when Blueface started reminding everyone how Chrisean once proudly tattooed his face, then started hiding it when she got caught up with other men, people began piecing things together like detectives in a crime show. Offset didn't stay quiet this time either. He hopped online faster than Kris Jenner chasing a scandal. His denial was immediate, strong, and dripping with frustration. He said he never touched Chrisean, never talked to her, never looked her direction. He made it sound as if he wouldn't have recognized her in a crowd of 2. But the internet wasn't convinced. because Offset's history with honesty is shakier than a cracked iPhone screen. Every time he says I didn't do it, people raise one eyebrow like they're watching a magician try to explain how the bunny got inside the hat. Chrisean responded with the fury of someone who thinks volume equals innocence. She called Blueface a liar, a weirdo, and a man who needs therapy more than he needs Wi-Fi. She tried flipping the narrative by claiming Blue had questionable things in his search history, hinting he was bi and hiding it. She said she covered his name tattoo because she saw something disturbing in his phone. She made it sound like the real scandal was him, not her. But the internet wasn't buying this storyline reboot. Not when Blueface was listing receipts with timestamps like a man tired of carrying secrets. What made things worse is that Chrisean went heavy on mocking Blueface's face tattoos as if she forgot she has his entire head tattooed on her own face like a fan who lost a bet. People dragged her instantly. They said she sounded hypocritical, messy, and desperate to twist the spotlight away from the cheating allegations. They reminded her that she had defended Blueface in the past and suddenly was painting him as a monster only after he revived the story. The public smelled panic, and panic never lies. But the real earthquake hit when Cardi B finally stepped into the conversation. People had been waiting for her reaction like fans waiting for a season finale. Was she going to drag Chrisean, blast Offset, deny everything? No one expected what she actually said. Cardi revealed she and Offset were separated around the time this alleged hookup happened. And not kind of separated, not on a break, fully separated. She said she'd been single for a minute and just didn't know how to announce it to the world. Suddenly, the narrative shifted. The internet realized Cardi wasn't pressed about Blueface's accusations because Offset technically wasn't her husband at that moment. Still, Cardi didn't confirm if the affair happened. She didn't deny it either. She simply said she didn't care and wasn't looking to find out. This neutral response stirred the pot even more, because Cardi admitting separation meant the rumor wasn't automatically impossible. Her tone didn't sound like a woman defending her man. It sounded like a woman who has moved on, cleaned her hands, and filed the whole relationship under expired right when people thought the situation couldn't get any worse. The real plot twist arrived: Chrisean's friends. Out of nowhere, two of her closest friends popped up online like whistleblowers in a political scandal, and they weren't defending her. They were verifying the rumor like they'd been waiting for the right moment to spill. The first friend, Janet, said Chrisean always wanted to be like Cardi and being around Offset was her way of stepping into Cardi's life. She made it sound like Chrisean wasn't just cheating, she was role-playing. She even claimed Chrisean left jewelry behind so Cardi would see it. That detail alone turned the internet into detectives overnight. Then came the other friend, who dropped the kind of detail that makes the internet scream. She said she was the one babysitting Junior while Chrisean went to meet Offset. She said Offset introduced Chrisean to culture. She said Chrisean walked into the same bedroom Cardi and Offset once shared. That sent shockwaves everywhere. Bringing someone into your marital house is one thing. Bringing them around your child is another. It turned a messy rumor into a downright disturbing betrayal. Chrisean's sister joined the chaos, confirming everything like she'd been holding the story in for 2 years. She said she babysat Junior that same night. She confirmed the sneaking out. She confirmed the meeting with culture. She confirmed the secrecy. She confirmed the timeline. And with that, the internet's sympathy for Chrisean evaporated instantly. Suddenly, this wasn't just a rumor. It was a pattern of people close to her exposing her with detailed consistency. At this point, Blueface looked less like a bitter ex and more like a man who had been telling the truth the whole time. The receipts, the dates, the witnesses, the friends, the sister, everything lined up like puzzle pieces falling into place. But instead of owning anything, Chrisean went right back to attacking Blueface's character. She claimed he needed rehab, mocked his appearance, and pretended none of this mattered anymore. But the internet was already invested. They wanted answers. They wanted accountability. They wanted someone to admit the truth. And this was only the beginning. Because once the internet smells blood, the memes, reactions, and chaos that follow make everything 10 times worse. The scandal was no longer just about cheating. It was about lies, betrayal, children being involved, and a truth that refused to stay buried. And the next wave of fallout would hit harder than anyone expected. The moment the internet realized this wasn't just a recycled rumor but a fully stocked buffet of messy confirmations, social media erupted like a volcano made of memes, disbelief, and pure chaotic joy. People were logging in from work, skipping class, burning dinner, doing whatever it took to stay glued to every update because the scandal had officially transformed into entertainment. It wasn't just gossip anymore. It was a cinematic universe of betrayal, hypocrisy, and internet detectives ready to unpack every little detail like they were getting paid for it. Suddenly, the timeline was split into teams. There were the Blue was right truthers running victory laps, waving screenshots like championship trophies. Then there were the Chrisean could never defenders screaming at the top of their lungs that everyone was lying. And of course, there were the Offset cheating starter pack experts who treated this like deja vu, saying Offset denying cheating was the least surprising plot twist of the century. The jokes hit harder than a Zeus network reunion fight, and once memes entered the battlefield, the situation becomes unstoppable. People dug up old clips of Chrisean bragging about her connections, pairing them with dramatic reality TV sound effects. Others edited Cardi's voiceovers into montages, making it look like she was narrating the downfall of an empire. But the moment Cardi confirmed she'd been single for a while, the internet entered a new level of insanity. Fans started treating her like she was the main character emerging from a breakup glow-up montage. The split suddenly made sense. Her unfollows, her captions, her music choices. Everything started forming a constellation of clues people swore they'd seen coming. Meanwhile, Chrisean tried shifting public sympathy back her way, but every attempt fell flatter than a dead battery. Every time she insulted Blueface's tattoos, people reminded her she still walks around with his face stamped on her cheek like a brand logo gone rogue. Every time she accused him of addiction, comments flooded in saying she shouldn't talk when her own past was full of substances and chaos. Nothing she said was sticking because the internet already made up its mind. When the public sees 5 witnesses pointing at the same story, denial starts sounding like comedy. Then came the celebrity reactions, and that's when things spiraled from messy to legendary. Influencers started doing dramatic reenactments of the allegations as if they were auditioning for a role in a hood soap opera. Rap blogs pulled out their best fonts, best headlines, best clickbait energy. Even random celebrities who have no business commenting suddenly chimed in with thinly veiled shade. Pretending they were just observing, the narrative grew arms and legs. Sprinting out of control faster than Chrisean running barefoot out of a club at 2 in the morning. Some people started comparing this scandal to Tristan Thompson levels of mess, claiming Offset and Chrisean created the budget version of a Kardashian disaster. Others said this was giving love and hip hop but without a director. A few even joked that this was the sequel to The Jedi and August Entanglement, but filmed with a cracked iPhone camera and bad decisions. The pop culture references kept rolling, turning the internet into one giant roast session aimed at every character involved. Blueface kept feeding the flames. Every time he tweeted something big or smug, the internet exploded again. People didn't even need context anymore. A simple emoji from him could spark 3 hours of speculation. Some fans joked that Blueface was living his best life because finally the world believed something he'd said. For once, he didn't look like a villain. He looked like a man who'd been screaming the truth while everyone muted him. Offset, on the other hand, tried slipping back into silence like a man dodging bill collectors. Every denial he posted was met with the same energy people use when they hear a toddler say, "I didn't eat the cookies," while chocolate is smeared all over their face. Fans kept bringing up his history, reminding him that his credibility was roughly the same as a Wi-Fi signal in an elevator, no matter how calm he tried to appear. The internet treated him like he was lying before he even opened his mouth. But The most unexpected reaction came from people who suddenly shifted their attention back to Cardi. They started asking how long she'd been single. How long had she been dropping clues? Did she know about the affair? Did she walk away because of repeated cheating? Cardi wasn't feeding the drama, but her silence held more weight than Offset's denials. People began analyzing her body language, her recent posts, her interviews, her everything. She became the emotional center of a scandal she didn't even care about simply because her name had been tangled into the mix. Right when the internet should have grown tired, things escalated again. Someone dug up an old video of Chrisean's sister talking about babysitting Junior during a mysterious late-night outing. It aligned perfectly with the timeline Blueface gave. People played the clip on loop like it was evidence in a trial, dissecting every word. When Janet's clip resurfaced describing how Chrisean left jewelry behind on purpose, fans lost their minds. They said this was worse than cheating. This was plotting. They joked that Chrisean didn't just cheat. She left Easter eggs like she was trying to unlock a secret Cardi B side quest. The memes went viral. Someone made a viral edit of Cardi walking into a room saying who left these earrings, while dramatic music played in the background. Another person posted a parody of Offset giving a house tour, opening a door and pretending to find Chrisean hiding behind it. The internet was ruthless, and once jokes start landing, reputations crumble faster than Chrisean's patience in a courtroom. Chrisean kept trying to deflect. She shifted blame, insulted Blueface, attacked his character, and acted like the whole world was obsessed with her. But people noticed something. Every time she lashed out, she never actually addressed the timeline. She never addressed the babysitters. She never addressed the friend details. She never addressed the meeting with culture. Silence on specifics always looks louder than denials, and the public picked up on that quickly. Even bloggers began questioning if Chrisean's friends were lying. But the consistency of their stories made it nearly impossible to dismiss. Two friends, one sister, one baby father, one mother-in-law figure, all pointing at the same story with different details that matched. The internet started wondering why so many people close to Chrisean would expose her unless they were fed up with covering for her. It painted a picture of someone who had burned so many bridges that even her inner circle was ready to drop truth bombs without hesitation. People also began noticing a pattern with Chrisean. Every major scandal she has been in involves denial, deflection, then chaos. Fans said this was the same playbook she used with her pregnancy drama, her relationship drama, her Blueface drama, her family drama. They claim she thrives on the confusion because it keeps her name trending. But this time the mess wasn't created by her, it was exposed around her. That shift made the situation feel different, heavier, and harder to spin. Cardi's fans jumped back into the conversation. They weren't attacking Chrisean for cheating. They were dragging her for involving culture. Meeting someone's child while sneaking around with their father is a line you don't cross. That detail alone turned casual watchers into angry defenders. They said Offset involving his daughter was the most disrespectful part. Whether Chrisean admitted it or not, people were already convinced he crossed a boundary no scandal can justify. Meanwhile, Blueface rode the wave like he'd been waiting for this moment his whole life. His videos, tweets, and interviews all carried the same attitude. I told y'all. He basked in the validation. Even his haters admitted he sounded more believable this time because his story never changed. And once the internet believes a villain, the entire narrative shifts. The final twist of this phase came when an old clip resurfaced showing Blueface talking casually on a podcast about how Chrisean tried making everything seem like he cared. He said she loved painting him as obsessed when he had already checked out. He talked about how she made herself appear victimized, knowing the internet loves a sob story. People immediately connected this comment to her current reaction, claiming she was using chaos as a shield again. By now, the scandal wasn't just a rumor anymore. It was a wildfire burning through everyone involved. The internet had chosen sides, dissected evidence, and laughed without mercy. But the real destruction, the reputational damage, the relationship fallout, and the long-term consequences hadn't even begun to unfold yet. Because the worst part of a scandal isn't the breaking news. It's the aftermath no one can escape. The aftermath of this scandal didn't just trickle into the timeline. It crashed into everyone's reputation like a wrecking ball dipped in gasoline. Once the dust settled, every person involved found themselves standing in a different kind of spotlight. Some gained sympathy, some lost credibility, and others walked away looking like the villain in a movie they didn't even audition for. The internet doesn't forget, and it definitely doesn't forgive easily, especially when children and marriages are dragged into the mess. The first person hit hardest by the fallout was Chrisean herself. For years, she built a brand on chaos, unpredictability, and emotional whirlwind energy people couldn't look away from. But this scandal forced people to question whether the chaos was really spontaneous or just her default setting. The constant denials, the aggressive outbursts, the hypocrisy, the contradictions, it all piled up. Fans who once defended her started stepping back, saying the pattern was getting exhausting. They began noticing the same cycles playing out over and over again, each mess bigger than the last. Each mess bigger than the last. Her credibility took the biggest hit. When your friends, your sister, your baby daddy, and even your baby daddy's mother tell the same story, the world stops trying to give you the benefit of the doubt. The narrative shifted fast. People stopped seeing Chrisean as the wild underdog and started viewing her as someone who creates chaos, then acts shocked when it backfires. Even those who wanted to defend her struggled. Because every new allegation matched the previous one like chapters from a messy diary she swore didn't exist. This scandal also damaged her public image in a way she hadn't experienced before. Sleeping with someone's husband is one thing, but sneaking into their home, meeting their child, and using friends as babysitters while you cheat, that crosses into a territory that even the internet side-eyes. It painted her as someone hiding behind victimhood while moving recklessly without caring who gets hurt in the process. And once that perception sticks, it's nearly impossible to shake off. Blueface, meanwhile, walked away from the chaos strangely victorious. For once, the world saw him as the truth teller in a storm of contradictions. He had been clowning, trolling, and disrespecting people for years. But this time his story aligned with the people around Chrisean. That rare moment where Blueface wasn't the villain turned into a bizarre plot twist. His credibility rose simply because he stayed consistent. Every person who exposed Chrisean indirectly validated him without even trying. His confidence skyrocketed after that. He went live more, tweeted more, bragged more. He acted like a man who had been waiting years to be proven right. And the internet didn't stop him. People said he deserved the moment because, for once, he wasn't exaggerating. He was telling a truth everybody else had been too skeptical to believe. Even those who disliked him acknowledged the irony. The messiest man in hip-hop somehow became the voice of reason in a scandal nobody expected to resurface. Offset walked away in a different kind of shadow. His denials didn't land the way he hoped. Too many past scandals hovered over his head like storm clouds waiting to burst. People weren't shocked by the allegation. They weren't surprised by the timeline. They weren't convinced by his statements. The internet's reaction wasn't outrage. It was boredom mixed with disappointment. When cheating rumors follow you every year, people stop reacting. They start expecting it. What really damaged Offset wasn't the cheating accusation itself. It was the detail involving culture. Meeting a child during an affair crossed an unforgivable line for many fans. Even if his role in the rumor was exaggerated, the possibility alone was enough to stain his reputation again. He tried staying quiet, hoping the scandal would fade, but the internet doesn't let men with repeated cheating histories rest easily. His silence wasn't interpreted as maturity. It was seen as guilt, exhaustion, or strategic avoidance. Cardi B, on the other hand, transformed into the unexpected winner of this storm. Her calm, detached response painted her as emotionally mature in a situation that could have become explosive. She didn't drag Chrisean. She didn't attack Offset. She didn't entertain the circus. She simply stated her truth. She'd been single, she didn't care, and she wasn't going down memory lane for anyone. That level of self-assurance made people respect her even more. They praised her for prioritizing peace over pettiness, especially in a space where drama is currency. Her revelation about being single also shifted public perception dramatically. People began viewing her as a woman who silently left a situation long before it became public. That unbothered energy made her look powerful. Instead of being the betrayed wife in the story, she became the woman who saved herself before the scandal even erupted again. Fans celebrated her like a queen reclaiming her throne after walking away from a chaotic kingdom. The public reaction as a whole became part of the aftermath too. People were torn between disbelief and exhaustion. They weren't shocked that cheating may have happened. They were shocked by how deep the story ran. Babysitters, family members, friends, children, sneaking in and out of houses. Jewelry planted on purpose. The scandal didn't feel like a one-time mistake. It felt calculated, reckless, and disturbingly casual. That's what left people stunned, the level of disrespect embedded in every detail. As more influencers, podcasters, and commentators began covering the story, the narrative grew stronger. Fans reanalyzed old clips of Chrisean leaving houses late at night. They replayed her cryptic videos. They studied her interviews for hidden clues. People claimed she had been hinting at the truth for years, and no one paid attention. Whether that was true or not didn't matter. The internet loves a retrospective detective moment, and this scandal gave them endless material. What truly lingered in the aftermath was the shift in public trust. Chrisean came out of this looking unstable and dishonest. Offset came out looking unfaithful and predictable. Blueface emerged looking surprisingly honest. Cardi walked away appearing unbothered and reborn. The reshuffling of reputations was as dramatic as the scandal itself, redefining how the public viewed each person involved. And just when people thought the story had closed, another wave of speculation began flooding the timeline. If Cardi was single that long, what else happened during that separation? If Chrisean's friends exposed her now, what secrets were they still holding? If Blueface was telling the truth about this, what else had he been right about? The scandal ended, but the curiosity didn't. People were already expecting new revelations. They assumed that if this truth could resurface after 2 years, there must be more buried beneath the surface waiting to explode. That lingering uncertainty is what made this scandal unforgettable. Not the cheating, not the lies, not the denials, but the sense that every person involved is holding a piece of a puzzle they're too afraid to reveal. And with how unpredictable each character is, the internet knows this story isn't finished. In the world of hip-hop drama, silence is never peace. It's just the cliffhanger before the next season drops. And if you thought this roller coaster was over, please think again. In the world of celebrity chaos, the end is never really the end. It's just the credits rolling before the bonus scene hits. Because with this group, another scandal is probably warming up in the locker room as we speak, stretching, hydrating, and waiting for its cue to enter the battlefield. Chrisean might deny, Blueface might brag, Offset might disappear, and Cardi might stay unbothered. But trust me, this is only the calm before the next digital earthquake. So before the internet gets hit with the next explosion of messy revelations, do your boy a favor. Smash that like button like it owes you child support. Tap that subscribe button like you're trying to unlock hidden levels in a video game. And drop a comment telling me whose side you're on, because I know half of you switched opinions at least 3 times listening to this story. Don't lie. This saga had more twists than a Netflix true crime documentary filmed with a shaky camera and emotional damage. Your comments keep the fire burning. Your likes keep the algorithm fed, and your subscription guarantees you never miss a single scandal that unfolds in this wild circus we call celebrity life. Because over here, chaos doesn't sleep. Drama doesn't take vacation days. Secrets don't stay buried. And truth shows up uninvited at 3 in the morning wearing house slippers and holding screenshots. So stay locked in, stay messy, stay ready for the next bombshell, because you already know how it goes. Same place, same drama, same energy. This is where the real stories live, where the wildest secrets break. and where every scandal gets served hot, fresh, and unfiltered. Welcome to Vibe Crave, where the tea is boiling and the chaos never ends.